Omaha, Nebraska, 8:23 a.m.
Heck yeah. Well, the Cavanaughs. When I was a probation officer, the Cavanaugh was one of the Cavanaughs was running the office down there. Where you get married. Yeah, where you get married at. Yeah, heck yeah.
That was my brother Tom.
Okay, right. So is he still around?
He passed about 5 years ago.
Okay,
this month coming up. But thanks for remembering him. He was a great guy.
Oh, heck yeah, without a doubt. When I was a probation officer, I used to run around all. On breaks, I used to run around and talk to decision makers. So he always gave me good guidance. I used to go mess with Fred Conley. So those was my guidance. And so shouts out to your family. Your family has done a lot of work for the Omaha community, without a doubt.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me on, William.
Without a doubt, Omaha, Nebraska, we're talking to Mr. Jim Cavanaugh, our commissioner, Commissioner Cavanaugh. And so why did your family get involved with politics? I mean, your whole family, you like the Kennedy family, man.
Well, we say we could be like the Kennedys because we're Irish Americans, but without the money.
Big difference.
Say, before we get into that, and following up on what you just had with Phil Rooney, I wanted to just share with you from this morning's New York Times what Nebraska looks like in terms of this COVID pandemic. And if you see here, we peaked in May and then kind of sloughed off during the summer. We're exactly where we were in May now.
Oh my goodness. It's come back
again right now. Right. And so, we've made some progress. You see a lot more people wearing masks and things. Until we have a vaccine, this isn't over. And nobody knows when that day is going to be. But, as Mr. Rooney pointed out, yesterday we had 147 new cases, and those are just the ones we know about. In the last 7 days, we had 728 new cases, the ones we know about. We have, so far, since the pandemic began, lost 191 people that we know about in Douglas County, Omaha. And 10 of those were in the last week. So this thing is still, a big threat to our community. And fortunately, I think that people are starting to clue in and wearing masks and keeping their distance and washing your hands a lot, which, as Phil pointed out, are the three big things that we can all do. We've got kids in school here. Our OPS son is distance learning. They might go back next month. That's going to be kind of a concern if these numbers don't change. I agree. Everybody out there, let's pull together on this. We'll get through it, but it's not over yet. And as they say, winter is coming.
Right.
It's going to be hard.
Now, Commissioner, we've been watching you. You actually are, you represent us, but not directly. Chris Rogers is our representative.
That's correct.
But you actually are on our side in regards to not building this new juvenile facility.
Yeah, the kids' jail proposal is unnecessary and expensive and wrong. And I've opposed it, from the beginning. We have a youth center on a campus in kind of Midtown, the Field Club neighborhood, which all the experts say that's how you want it to look. You want it to look more like a junior high school or a high school where these kids hopefully will go back after they're done with their stay with us, than a correction center. What they're building downtown is a kids' jail 2 blocks from the adult jail. Looks like the adult jail, close to the adult jail. No outside, no soccer fields. It wouldn't be confused with.
So they can't go outside like where they at now?
There is no outside. It's all in a building.
What?
Yes. And I opposed this from the beginning because the original report said, don't do it like that. Take your Field Club campus and refurbish it. Put some money in it. Make it look like King Science rather than Douglas County Corrections. Well, they went the other way. And I said, well, put it on the ballot. Let the people decide. Well, they went the other way. And so now it's rolling along. It's a big construction real estate deal. People will make money off of this.
Oh, yeah.
But know this. 80% of the children incarcerated in Douglas County are children of color. 80%.
80%.
Last time I checked the census figures, 80% of Douglas County's population weren't people of color.
It's mostly white. 80%.
Pretty much. And so why is that? And building another bigger jail isn't going to change that number. What's going to change that number is to save some of those tens of millions of dollars and invest it in the children. You know, I don't think that children of color are any worse or any better than any other children, but we lock them up at incredibly high rates, and that's wrong. We should stop that.
Right.
So Senator Chambers is standing for the county commission in this district as a write-in, and I would urge people to take a serious look at writing in Ernie Chambers for Douglas County Commissioner, because he's opposed to the kids' jail.
Right.
And Chris Rogers has supported this all along. He's the finance chair of the entire project. And
he's the finance chair. Isn't that?
He's the finance chair of the private corporation that's pushing this project. And so,
isn't that a
conflict of interest?
Yeah, conflict of interest.
You have to ask him. But I think that
No, it seems like you got your hands in a couple of pots to me.
Hey, brother Cavanaugh, you a big man, brother Cavanaugh. I like you, brother Cavanaugh.
I don't like the way this conversation is going. I'm just, my head is hurting already.
I'm better, cheaper way to do it. It's better for our children.
Right.
It's cheaper for the taxpayers. And at the end of the day, it will help our community. We need another jail downtown like we need a hole in the head. My wife said there's going to be 2 jails down there. They call it Jailer's Canyon.
Oh, man.
Mr. Cavanaugh, it's a mental thing. Building a facility right next to a jail, two blocks down for kids, building it like a mental or a prison or a jail, not having outdoors. It's a psychological effect among and oppression among Black people. Again, it's been done in other areas. Now it's done in the criminal system. And I don't agree with, just like you, I don't agree with that. Why not? Because you're basically creating this behavior, this mental behavior amongst our kids that their next step is adult prison.
That's correct.
So from one place to the next place. So I like the idea of building it, maybe at the field club location as a school, make it look like a school, have outdoor area where they can go out. They're children.
Exactly.
They're children. So why are we treating them like
the facility? Martine,
prisoners?
Martine, if you haven't been over there, I've done some work in there as far as with the youth. It's a better environment over there. They got the outdoors on the north side. And so, like you say, all you gotta do is expand it.
Yeah, you could literally make it look like King Science with security perimeter.
Right.
Okay. So the children go in there, they go to class, their days are similar. They're almost like at a boarding facility, boarding school, rather than a correction center, which is a city block in downtown Omaha, surrounded by city blocks within eyesight of the adult jail and a bunch of people in orange jumpsuits.
They can't go outside. They can't get no sun.
They can't go outside. They can't take. If the kids go outside at our current Douglas County Youth Center at 42nd Woolworth, what do they see? They see a golf course. If they go outside down here, what do they see? They see concrete and a jail.
Right.
So it's not a close call. I would urge people to write in Ernie Chambers for Douglas County Commissioner. He's done a spectacular job in the legislature for 46 years. This community is blessed to have a public servant of his stature. And I think that he is what we need to stop this kid's jail. This kind of thing, goes on if somebody doesn't stand up and say, stop. And he has made a record. He and Terrell McKinney, who is running to succeed him in the legislature, are both on record saying no kids jail. And we need to have that type of stance by our public servants, particularly North Omaha needs to have
Especially
that
black
type of
mothers.
representation.
Yeah.
If you're not going to stick up for your own children,
Right.
who
It's gonna-
is?
It's going to be your very children that are going into that building.
My Lord, my
So,
Lord.
you know, Terrell McKinney running for legislature and Ernie Chambers running as a write-in for the county commission is the kind of leadership that this community needs. It's forward-looking. It's not afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And it speaks truth to power.
Right.
Well, that's a rare thing when you get into the political sphere.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Brother Cavanaugh, you are speaking truth to the power. Man, you about it. But where you grew up, where you see you're Irish. Irish like to fight too.
Well, you know, I don't want to go into ethnic stereotypes, but I do want to say one thing.
No. You got McGregor. McGregor be talking a lot of smack.
Okay, I for a long time, and
Right.
Are you still in practice?
I am. I set up the oldest and largest Social Security disability firm in Nebraska years and years ago. And I'm a little concerned about the way our country is going under the current administration because they want to attack Social Security. Well, I'm a baby boomer. I'm from that age group.
Okay.
And there are a lot of us. And I have joined a committee called Boomers for Biden. And we have a one-plank program, and that is Save Our Social Security. You're going to be hearing a lot more about this.
Okay.
But if the people in power right now get their way, there might not be any Social Security disability going forward. And they're going to extend the retirement age to 70, 75, whatever. They're already taking money away from Social Security, weakening the whole program for every retired person and disabled person in the United States. This touches a lot of lives. And so Boomers for Biden is directed on waking people up to the fact that this election is about a lot of stuff. But one thing you got to know, if you're getting a Social Security check every month, this is not a close call. Joe Biden is for protecting and extending Social Security, and the other guy will wreck it, like he's wrecked so much in our country in the last 4 years. So in addition to all the other reasons that you probably have for making a decision on this, saving our Social Security is on the line in November. So Boomers for Biden, you'll be hearing a lot more about it, is coming to town, and we will be in your neighborhood soon talking about saving our Social Security.
Anything else that we should be keeping our ears to the ground?
You know, this is a vibrant community. I'm, you know, born and raised in Omaha on the south side.
So you are tough. I mean, what high school?
I come from, you know,
what high school did you go
working
to?
class community. And I admire hardworking people. And this North Omaha is a lot like South Omaha.
Without a doubt.
People work for a living.
Work
I
hard.
understand that.
Work hard.
Hey, bro, Cavanaugh, where'd you go to high school? Where'd you go to school? High school.
Well, don't hold this as an example. I went to Creighton Prep.
We like prep. They're cool.
Because my father was a big believer on education. He said, I'm going to leave you two things. I'm going to leave you a good name and a good education. And he went out of his way to make sure that all of us kids got high school, college, and a lot of us went to law school or med school after that. And that was great. That was his legacy. He and my mother were working people, and they left us a good name and a good education.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But one of the guys that I met early on was Ernie Chambers. Ernie Chambers is a North Side guy, but his family worked in the packing houses in South Omaha. His father was a packing house worker. And so we've known each other, for a long time. And I've just admired the work that he's done for this community. And he's really, in America, kind of a unique figure.
Without a doubt.
He's never gone out to make a big pile of money for himself, and he could. He's a brilliant lawyer.
Yeah.
He's never put himself out, nationally or anything on the speaker circuit or anything, and he could if you've ever heard him speak.
Oh yeah, I have.
And yet he has spent 50 years in this community sticking up for people and people's rights, and really all over the state. He does more work for individual people. I've been down to his office in Lincoln many times, and he does constituent work. The phone rings, he answers it. You talk to the man.
Right.
Well, you don't get that a lot. You got to go through
Right.
staffers, and you got to make an appointment and all that stuff. He is right down the street. Talk to him.
Mhm.
So a woman, another community woman, Cheryl Weston, is kind of heading up this write-in Ernie Chambers effort for him. And I would urge people to reach out to her. She answers her own phone too. You can reach her at 402-679-0586 and ask her how you can help the write-in Ernie Chambers thing. I noticed coming up here on 24th Street that Terrell McKinney has campaign signs that show he and Senator Chambers together. Senator Chambers has endorsed him as his successor in the legislature. And I've gotten to know Terrell a little bit. I'm very impressed with this young man. He's going to my alma mater law school, Creighton University Law School. And I think, looking ahead, none of us are going to live forever. You got to think about succession. And I think Senator Chambers has thought about that somewhat in terms of this. Nothing against Fred Conley. I know Fred. He's a friend of mine. I like him. But, we're none of us getting any younger.
That's right.
And when I'm talking about boomers for Biden, you know how old I am. So, we've got to talk about the future. Where do we go with the future? Well, no kids jail. That's not the future.
Right.
That's the past. And, I think that having somebody that will stick up for that, and then having somebody to step in and fill the spot in the legislature are important to this community. You've got a big election in front of you. So I would urge you to step up and take a hard look at Joe Biden for president, Ernie Chambers for Douglas County Board, and Terrell McKinney for legislature.
All right.